Welcome back to the Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today. Disney's bringing some of its content with its live TV channels to free streaming services. We'll tell you what are these free channels, what services are getting them, and what this means for cord cutting in general. Paramount is up for sale, reportedly going to be sold to the highest bidder. There's an auction coming to own a majority of Paramount. We'll tell you all the details there, and one of the biggest media companies may have new owners soon. And Spectrum is trying to move its customers from its traditional cable TV service over to its streaming service. What is this? What's the service? What does it mean for you? And how are they trying to convince people to switch over? All coming up with more stories in a quick second. First of all, if you want to learn more about these stories, I will put a link to each story I talk about in the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. You can find them on YouTube. This first pinned comment down there from over at cordcuttersnews.com. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. It's a huge help, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of television. With that said, let's dive into it, starting off with Disney is bringing its free live channels to more services. Now, a few weeks ago, we covered the news that Disney officially announced that they are bringing live free channels to the ABC app. They've been quietly building this now for the last year with a growing number of free channels, most notably the newest one being ESPN8, the Ocho, which plays a bunch of weird sports, kind of a take on the dodgeball movie that had an ESPN8 in it. Disney kind of embraced it, had some fun with it, and now there's a 24/7 ESPN8 channel streaming for free. The thing is, before this, Disney had all their free live channels hidden on the ABC app. They weren't being brought to Tubi or Pluto or other. Well, now LG Channels is the first to get them. I've heard rumors that they're not going to be the last, but Disney has brought several free live channels from Disney content over to LG Channels. These are channels like Extreme Homemaker and others that are in the ABC app slowly coming over. Now, with this, you're going to get several different channels with this on the LG Channels. No date again to come to other services, but I've been told that that's probably going to happen sooner than you believe. It's always been kind of a weird blind spot when Warner Brothers Discovery, NBC Universal, and Paramount are all building tons of free ad-supported channels to capitalize on the revenue from its content. Disney has not been. And now it seems like Disney is belatedly joining the push, the effort for this. We'll keep a close eye on this story, but I'll have full coverage over at cordcuttersnews.com as this comes to more. But keep your eyes open. Disney is working on building up a lineup of free ad-supported content, streaming live through their channels. All right, let's keep moving along. Paramount is reportedly going to be sold to the highest bidder. Now, the Redstone family has controlled Paramount for a long time. They own 77% of the voting shares in Paramount. And when you own 77% of something, you can pretty much do whatever you want. No one can outvote you. Well, the head of the family, the head of the company has decided they want out. There's been rumors for a long time that they're in talks with different people. We did confirm that Warner Brothers Discovery was in talks, maybe. There's a few other companies out there with that. Well, now, according to a post from the New York Post, their sources say that the Redstone family has commissioned bankers to begin an auction process, and they've already started sharing information with investment firms to bid on their shares. Now, it's still possible that maybe they only sell part of it, but reportedly they would prefer to sell the entire 77% to a single buyer. This would give that buyer potentially massive control, or does give the buyer control over Paramount and all Paramount's assets and what happens to Paramount going forward. Now, with this, no dates known for when this auction will be. Things could still fall apart. They could change their mind. With this kind of auction, this isn't a hard and fast thing, right? They're setting out information. They're going to take bids, and whoever is the highest bidder wins kind of situation. It's not like you show up at a particular time and date and somebody with a gavel is auctioning it off. But they are trying to drive up the price as high as possible, it seems, by bringing in as many players as possible. That could be an effort to maybe force Warner Bros. Discovery to pay more. Could just be an effort to see, hey, how much can we really get for this? Yeah, we can get estimates, but how much in a bidding situation would people really pay for Paramount? Now, we could be months away. We could be over a year away from this. We could be weeks away. It's hard to tell with these kind of leaks. Information does seem to suggest that we are not close to a sale happening soon, but that the process is working through and they're getting close to selling Paramount Plus, or Paramount as a whole. All right, Spectrum has been pushing its cable TV customers in our next story over to its new streaming service. Now, Spectrum for some time now has had a streaming package you can get on Roku and others. Recently, with the launch of the new Xumo player, they're basically taking their cable customers in the current cable packages and offering them streaming through the Xumo player. The Xumo Box player is a streaming device built in conjunction with Comcast that bundles in streaming services like a Roku would, along with a cable package with it. The big difference here is this box is 100% streaming. It's now the new default go-to box for Spectrum, and they're trying to move people over from the older cable boxes that still run on the traditional cable networks to the new streaming version. Now the big thing here is price. Now with the Xumo Play box, it's $5 a month or $60 up front. I'll get to a catch with that in a minute. Or if you have a cable box, they just raised the price up to over $12 a month. It's $12.50 a month. And it's part of their efforts to try to promote people like, hey, you know, less than half the price if you switch over to the Xumo Play box, replace your current cable devices. Now for Spectrum, I'm suspecting the long-term goal here is eventually walk away from traditional cable. Not cable television, they'll still offer those packages and channels. But if they could do it 100% streaming, it would free up their networks from having to maintain the old legacy cable TV boxes and hardware and network devices at the servers versus just having everything streamed, and their physical networks can 100% be dedicated to internet and not have to split that with TV. Now the big catch with this is if you decide to pay monthly for $5, they'll keep charging you unless you stop. After 12 months, you could fully pay for that device and have it fully paid for, but you need to call them, message them, whatever, contact customer service to stop that monthly charge. Now, TV customers can get one device free for a year. After that year, the $5 a month fees kick in. It'll be interesting. Comcast is offering this device, but only to internet-only customers. TV customers still get the traditional X1 boxes. Will more and more companies, Spectrum is the second largest company, will others do this, try to move customers into streaming? I think in the long run, probably, it makes more sense. There's less legacy hardware you need to keep all over the country to offer the television channels. We'll see how that works, but Spectrum is trying to push customers to streaming. Speaking of streaming, Fubo is raising its price. Customers started getting notifications on Wednesday this week that there will be a $5 price hike for the base packages. Customers on plans with RSNs will see a $1 a month price hike on the RSN fee. Fubo is one of the few services to have an RSN fee there, cord cutting streaming. Also one of the few to offer Bally Sports with it and many other RSNs. Now, typical things, cost of content, all that plays in here. This will take effect in February, and it will be your next bill after that date with that when it goes into effect. Check your own email. If you are a Fubo customer, you should receive an email when your bill will go into effect with this. Interesting thing about streaming, everybody's on a slightly different billing cycle, and that's why it happens at different times for streaming customers. But $5 a month price hike with it. Now, in fairness, we just talked about Spectrum. Spectrum has also raised the price on internet, television, and other things. That's the second price hike we've seen in just like 8 months or so. We've seen 2 price hikes. Last year, DirecTV also had 2 price hikes. So yes, streaming is going up. Cable TV is going up just as fast, if not faster. So really, you're either saving the same amount or maybe even more. We'll see. Hallmark Channel and Hallmark Streaming Services is reportedly laying off staff. Deadlines reported that they are laying off several executives within the Hallmark Media Company that oversees the Hallmark channels and Hallmark streaming services. With this, we're continuing to see the impact of cord cutting, soft ad market, all kinds of factors here. But Hallmark Media is trying to cut costs by laying off more executives. Don't expect this to have any real impact on the end experience for right now, but it'd be interesting to see what Hallmark Channel looks like in a few years. Local Now is adding several new channels. The Soul of the South Television and Operation Repo have been added. Local Now is one of the largest free ad-supported streaming services in the United States. Check it out. 2 new channels there streaming live, thanks to the reader who sent that tip in. AT&T is adding a new $5 a month fee on prepaid phone customers. If you are a prepaid phone customer and you want to pay over the phone, it's now going to cost you $5 a month. This is one more attempt of AT&T, and let's be honest, many companies to move you to either auto pay or for you to go on their website and pay. A lot of them want you to be on auto pay because that allows them to have fewer people forgetting to pay them, makes their money a little bit more consistent. But with this, you will now pay $5 even if you use the automated phone system. No matter how you pay by phone, it'll be $5 for AT&T prepaid customers. Highly suggest that if you are a prepaid customer, just set up autopay or go on the website and pay it that way if possible. All right, Google Play Movies and TV app will shut down next week on Google TV and Android TV. If you've bought movies through the Google Play Movies and Television app, you will now find those inside the YouTube app. They're going to migrate that content into the YouTube Store app there on Android TV, mobile devices, and more. So if next week you log in and that app's gone, don't worry, your content's still there. It's just over on the YouTube app as YouTube migrates purchasing movies and television shows, or Google migrates it from the Google Play app to YouTube in that. Also, we're coming up on the Super Bowl. It's hard to believe that playoffs start this weekend. But the Super Bowl, for the first time on CBS, will be aired in 4K. I believe YouTube TV will have it, and others will too. Big note here, we'll have to wait and see. Some people have been asking me about over-the-air broadcast, ATSC 3.0. At this time, I don't know of any broadcasts going out in 4K. There's a lot of technical reasons for that. During the time when they have to both broadcast in 1.0 and 3.0, I would suspect that would still be HD, though broadcast television HD looks pretty darn good. If you want to watch the Super Bowl in 4K, we will have a post closer to it on different streaming services offering that. But good news, if you love 4K, you love sports, it will be offered in 4K for the first time on CBS this year. All right, question of the day. If you have a question for me, leave me a comment down below and in the first pinned comment. Start off with something like a question for Luke, so I know it's a question you want me to answer in this video. Today's question says, Luke, do you think all major sports will be in major streaming services now that some big games like NFL are becoming exclusive to Peacock? Will they leave local channels? I don't think they'll leave local channels anytime soon. For one, they have contracts for a long time into the future. A lot of the reason we're seeing content on Peacock and NFL on Amazon is they just recently signed new NFL, NBA contracts. A lot of college football leagues just locked up their contracts for a while with ESPN, Fox, NBC, and CBS. So I don't think we're going to see huge ones, but I do think we're going to continue to see this move into making sports streaming friendly. We see that with Paramount Plus simultaneously streaming CBS sporting events and others. I think that's going to be the trend. Do I think in 10 years that you'll be able to subscribe to a package to get NFL, NBA games streaming? Yeah, I do. What would that look like? Is it 10 years? Is it 15 years from now where you can just pay one fee and get everything streamed? I don't know. But I think that's the end game here. For now, though, the money still really is with locals, the advertising and more. It's not quite as profitable on streaming for now. But I do think that will change in the next 5 to 10 years, that streaming profitability will be 1-to-1, if not more, than what you see on local ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS's. Well, that's it for today. I'll be back next week with another video. Until then, take care, be safe, have a fantastic day, everybody.